Welcome to Prep Pass. Here are 20 real ServSafe Food Protection Manager practice questions with answers for 2026. Read each question, then try to answer before the 5-second timer runs out. For the full free practice test, just search preppass.org. Let's begin. Question 1. What is the key difference between cleaning and sanitizing a food contact surface? A. Cleaning uses hot water and sanitizing uses cold water only. B. They are the same thing done twice. C. Cleaning removes food and soil. Sanitizing reduces pathogens on an already clean surface to safe levels. D. Sanitizing removes grease and cleaning kills germs. The correct answer is C. Cleaning physically removes food residue, grease, and dirt, while sanitizing uses heat or chemicals to reduce the number of pathogens on an already clean surface to safe levels. A surface must be cleaned before it can be sanitized, because soil shields microbes from the sanitizer. The two steps are distinct and both are required for food contact surfaces. Question 2. In a 3-compartment sink, staff are hot water immersion sanitizing without chemicals. What water temperature and time meet the food code? A. Immersion in water at 171 degrees Fahrenheit or higher for at least 30 seconds. B. Immersion in water at 110 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 seconds. C. Immersion in water at 75 degrees Fahrenheit for 60 seconds. D. Immersion in water at 135 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 seconds. The correct answer is A. For manual hot water sanitizing in a 3-compartment sink, items must be immersed in water maintained at 171 degrees Fahrenheit or hotter for at least 30 seconds. This heat kills pathogens without chemicals. Cooler temperatures such as 110 degrees Fahrenheit or 135 degrees Fahrenheit will not reliably sanitize in that time. Question 3. A dishwasher mixes a chlorine sanitizing solution for the 3rd sink. What concentration and conditions are correct? A. 500 ppm chlorine at 40 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 10 ppm chlorine at any temperature. C. 200 ppm chlorine at 120 degrees Fahrenheit. D. 50 to 100 ppm chlorine, water 55 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, contact time about 7 seconds. The correct answer is D. A chlorine sanitizing solution should be roughly 50 to 100 ppm with water between 55 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit and at least about 7 seconds of contact time. Too little chlorine will not sanitize, and too much can be unsafe and corrosive. Temperature matters because very cold water slows chlorine's action. Question 4. A slicer is used continuously to slice deli meats throughout a busy lunch. How often must its food contact surfaces be cleaned and sanitized during that continuous use? A. Only once at the end of the day. B. At least every 4 hours. C. Every 12 hours. D. Only when it looks visibly dirty. The correct answer is B. Food contact surfaces of equipment used with TCS food in continuous operation must be cleaned and sanitized at least every 4 hours to keep pathogen levels from building up. Waiting until the end of the day or until soil is visible allows bacteria to grow between uses. More frequent cleaning is required when contamination is likely. Question 5. Which backflow prevention method is considered the most reliable because it creates a physical gap that no back siphonage can cross? A. An air gap between the faucet outlet and the flood rim of the sink. B. A garden hose left in a bucket. C. A closed valve on the supply line. D. A rubber gasket on the faucet. The correct answer is A. An air gap, an unobstructed vertical space between a water outlet and the flood rim of the receiving fixture, is the most reliable backflow prevention because there is no physical connection for contaminated water to travel back through. The gap should generally be at least twice the diameter of the supply opening and never less than 1 inch. Mechanical devices help but can fail. An air gap cannot be back-siphoned. Question 6. In a high-temperature dish machine, what final rinse temperature is generally required to sanitize with heat? A. 120 degrees Fahrenheit at the rinse manifold. B. 140 degrees Fahrenheit at the rinse manifold. C. 100 degrees Fahrenheit at the rinse manifold. D. At least 180 degrees Fahrenheit at the manifold, with about 160 degrees Fahrenheit at the dish surface. The correct answer is D. A high-temperature dish machine typically must reach at least 180 degrees Fahrenheit at the final rinse manifold so that the dish surface reaches about 160 degrees Fahrenheit, which is hot enough to sanitize. If the rinse is too cool, items are washed but not sanitized. Managers should verify the rinse temperature with the machine gauge or a heat-sensitive indicator. Question 7. Where should cleaning chemicals and pesticides be stored in a food establishment? A. On a shelf directly above the prep table for quick access. B. In a designated area separate from and below food, utensils, and single-use items. C. Inside the walk-in cooler with the produce. D. In unlabeled spray bottles near the cook line. The correct answer is B. Toxic materials such as cleaners and pesticides must be stored in a designated area away from food, equipment, utensils, and single-service items, and ideally below them so they cannot spill or drip onto food. Storing chemicals above or among food invites contamination. Working containers must also be clearly labeled with the product's common name. Question 8. What is the correct order of steps for cleaning and sanitizing in a 3-compartment sink? At sanitize, wash, rinse, then air dry. B. Rinse, wash, sanitize, then towel dry. C. Scrape/pre-clean, wash in detergent, rinse in clean water, sanitize, then air dry. D. Wash, sanitize, rinse, then stack while wet. The correct answer is C. The proper sequence is to first scrape or pre-rinse the item, wash in the first compartment with detergent and water at 110 degrees Fahrenheit or hotter, rinse in the second compartment with clean water, sanitize in the third compartment, and then air dry. Towel drying or stacking wet can recontaminate items. Air drying prevents wiping sanitizer off and adding new contamination. Question 9. Which set of practices forms the foundation of integrated pest management, IPM? A. Spraying pesticide daily throughout the kitchen. B. Leaving food out to lure pests to one spot. C. Propping the back door open for ventilation. D. Deny pests access, deny them food and water, and deny them shelter, using a licensed operator when treatment is needed. The correct answer is D. IPM rests on denying pests entry, food and water, and shelter, so the environment simply does not support them. Chemical treatment is a last resort performed by a licensed pest control operator. Routine daily spraying, luring pests with food, or propping doors open all work against these principles. Prevention through exclusion and sanitation is far more effective than reacting with pesticides. Question 10. A manager sets up a quaternary ammonium (quat) sanitizer solution. How should the correct concentration be determined? A. Follow the manufacturer's directions, commonly around 200 ppm, and verify with a quat test kit. B. Use exactly 50 ppm as for chlorine. C. Pour until the water turns cloudy. D. Use 500 ppm to be extra safe. The correct answer is A. Quaternary ammonium sanitizer must be mixed to the manufacturer's specified concentration, commonly about 200 ppm, and confirmed with a quat-specific test kit. Concentrations for quats differ from chlorine, so chlorine's 50 to 100 ppm range does not apply. Guessing by appearance or overdosing wastes product and can leave unsafe residue. Question 11. For an iodine-based, iodophore, sanitizer, which concentration range is generally correct? A. 50 to 100 ppm. B. 200 ppm minimum. C. At 12.5 to 25 ppm. D. 500 ppm or higher. The correct answer is C. Iodine sanitizers, or iodophores, are effective at roughly 12.5 to 25 ppm within the manufacturer's specified temperature and pH range. This range is much lower than chlorine or quats, so using a chlorine test strip or a higher target would be wrong. Always check the specific product label and verify with the matching test kit. Question 12. Which observation is a telltale sign of a cockroach infestation the manager should act on? A. Clean, dry storage shelves with dated labels. B. A strong oily odor plus droppings that look like black pepper and shed egg cases and cracks. C. New LED lighting over the prep line. D. A properly functioning air gap at the mop sink. The correct answer is B. Signs of a cockroach infestation include a strong, oily odor, droppings resembling ground pepper, and egg capsules, oothece, tucked into cracks and crevices. Spotting these means the manager should clean thoroughly, eliminate harborage, and bring in a licensed pest control operator. Clean shelves, good lighting, and a working air gap are signs of a well-maintained facility, not infestation. Question 13. A cook fills a spray bottle with degreaser from a bulk drum. What must be done before it goes on the shelf? A. Label the working container with the common name of the chemical. B. Leave it blank since staff know what it is. C. Mark it only with the date. D. Store it inside a food container to save space. The correct answer is A. Any working container that a chemical is transferred into must be labeled with the common name of that chemical, so no one mistakes it for something else. Unlabeled or mislabeled containers are a leading cause of chemical contamination incidents. Reusing food containers for chemicals is prohibited because it invites dangerous mix-ups. Question 14. To deny pests access to the building, what is a correct control at exterior openings? A. Prop the delivery door open with a wedge all day. B. Leave a 2-inch gap under the back door for airflow. C. Remove the window screens to let in light. D. Keep exterior doors self-closing and tight, screen open windows, and seal gaps around pipes. The correct answer is D. Denying pest access means outer openings must be protected, exterior doors self-closing and tight-fitting, open windows screened, and gaps around utility lines and pipes sealed. Even a small gap under a door or an open, unscreened window is an invitation to rodents and insects. Exclusion at the building envelope is the first line of an effective pest program. Question 15. What is the primary purpose of a master cleaning schedule? A. To track employee vacation days. B. To specify what is cleaned, who cleans it, when, and how, so nothing is overlooked. C. To list the restaurant's menu items. D. To record customer complaints. The correct answer is B. A master cleaning schedule documents every cleaning task in the operation, the item or area, the person responsible, the frequency, and the method and chemicals to use. This ensures both obvious and easily forgotten areas are cleaned consistently across shifts. It turns cleaning from a guessing game into a managed, verifiable system. Question 16. Which characteristics should multi-use food contact surfaces and equipment have under the food code? A. Absorbent so they soak up spills. B. Rough textured for better grip. C. Made of untreated raw wood. D. Smooth, durable, non-absorbent, and easy to clean. The correct answer is D. Multi-use food contact surfaces must be smooth, durable, non-absorbent, corrosion-resistant, and easy to clean so they can be effectively cleaned and sanitized and do not harbor pathogens. Absorbent, rough, or raw wood surfaces trap moisture and food and cannot be reliably sanitized. Choosing the right construction materials is a foundational facility design decision. Question 17. A hose is connected to a faucet and left submerged in a mop bucket of dirty water. What hazard does this create? A. A cross-connection that could allow backflow of contaminated water into the potable supply. B. Nothing, because the water pressure only flows out. C. A minor cosmetic issue with no health impact. D. An improvement to water conservation. The correct answer is A. A hose submerged in dirty water creates a cross-connection. If pressure drops, back siphonage can pull the contaminated water into the potable plumbing. This is exactly the scenario backflow prevention devices and air gaps are meant to stop. Hoses should never be left in standing water, and a backflow preventer or air gap should protect the connection. Question 18. In the wash compartment of a 3-compartment sink, what is the minimum detergent water temperature the food code specifies? A. 75 degrees Fahrenheit. B. At least 110 degrees Fahrenheit. C. 90 degrees Fahrenheit. D. 171 degrees Fahrenheit. The correct answer is B. The wash solution in a manual warewashing sink must be kept at least 110 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough for the detergent to cut grease and lift soil. Water that is too cool will not clean effectively, leaving residue that shields microbes from the sanitizer. The 171 degrees Fahrenheit figure applies only to hot water immersion sanitizing, not the wash step. Question 19. Why does the food code set minimum lighting intensity levels for different areas of a food establishment? A. To make the dining room feel romantic. B. To reduce the electric bill. C. So staff can see well enough to work safely and spot dirt, pests, and spills, especially at prep and warewashing areas. D. To power the neon sign out front. The correct answer is C. Adequate lighting, with higher intensity required at food prep and warewashing areas and where equipment is cleaned, lets staff see soil, pests, and spills and work safely. Poorly lit areas hide dirt and contamination and increase accidents. The code specifies minimum foot candle levels precisely so critical work areas are bright enough to keep clean. Question 20. How should indoor garbage containers holding food waste be maintained? A. Left uncovered so staff can toss trash quickly. B. Kept covered when not in continuous use, and cleaned and emptied often to avoid attracting pests and odors. C. Stored inside the walk-in cooler overnight. D. Aligned with food-grade bags and never emptied until full to the top. The correct answer is B. Garbage receptacles should be covered with tight-fitting lids when not in continuous use, and emptied and cleaned frequently so they do not overflow, smell, or attract pests. Overflowing or uncovered garbage is a magnet for rodents and insects. Keeping refuse areas clean, indoors and in the outdoor dumpster area, is a core part of pest prevention. That's all 20 questions. Want the full ServSafe practice test with hundreds of questions, completely free? Just search preppass.org. Good luck on your exam.